Welcome to our Rolemaster actual play session. Ain't No Place for a Hero is a campaign set in the world of Duranarki, the continent of men. A gritty, cutthroat world where politics, sorcery, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Treachery and murder both come cheap, and characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is episode 81 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. Seeking the wisdom of the former diplomat Ningwen, our adventurers have landed on the enigmatic shores of Darn Island. But what awaits them isn't a warm welcome, but Ningwen's palace engulfed in chaos and under assault. As the tale unfolds, we are plunged into the thick of battle. Our heroes, trapped in a fierce maelstrom of arrows and adversaries, witness the devastating sight of both Mithan and Demos struck down by bow shots. The quest has taken an unexpected and perilous turn. Hello, I'm Chris, otherwise known as GM Chance, and welcome to our story. And that story is Ain't No Place for a Hero. Speaking of heroes, these are our heroes for this game. 6 characters that will entertain, titillate, amaze, and delight you with their escapades this evening. In a second or two, I'll hand over to the players of those characters to introduce their characters and also answer a character development question. 2 very quick things from me. Just again, my regular shout out to our supporters, our very kind subscribers and followers on various social medias across the internet. Thank you very much indeed for your support. What I'd say to you, if you're watching this video and you get something out of it, you enjoy it, or you learn something from it, or you find yourself laughing at an amusing moment, really encourage you, please, to take a second or two and click the button down below. Either a like, or even better, a subscribe. It really does help our channel grow and other people find our story. Thank you. Secondly, this is episode 81. The campaign's been going for a long time. In fact, it started in July 2020. A lot's happened over that time, and we only started recording this game around episode 60. So down below in the description, there are a couple of links. One is a link to a short video, a 5-minute video, which provides a quick précis of the story before we started recording, and the other is to a PDF document with some images and a bit more in depth about the storyline. If you're enjoying the story and what these 6 characters are trying to achieve, save the world, and a bit more of what's happened, strongly encourage you to have a look down below. Alright, it is time to hear from our heroes. And tonight, we're kicking off with Mason. Mason, take it away.
Kia ora, I'm Mason, I play Demos. So he's a big, beautiful beefcake. Not the most bright man, but, you know, he's very friendly, which I think kind of makes up for it, and he's very strong. He's had his first character death, which was, you know, sad, but exciting at the same time, I guess. Feel like it'll be very growing for his character.
As a quick note to our viewers, as a note about the character death, Rolemaster is a particularly brutal game. So every character gets 3 death saves, life choices, whatever you want to call them, And Demos has had his first last session.
Bum,
And
bum.
bum 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 bum. And yes, please take it away with one of the questions I sent out.
So yeah, one of the questions is, do you hold any party member on a pedestal, who and why? I don't think he knows them quite well enough to hold anyone on a pedestal, but he has great admiration and respect for everyone in the party. He thinks they'll bring their own kind of strengths and things, and it's nice for him to kind of be surrounded by friends. I guess more. He's hung around with like colleagues more so than friends, so it's kind of nice to be in a mix of people who will, can openly disagree with each other, but it's not going to turn into like a just do as you're told kind of thing, which is what he's quite used to.
Cool. And we were discussing before the camera was switched on, Mason, your own personal virtues as a diplomat. That was a very diplomatic answer. Fantastic, thank you. Who are you throwing it over to, please?
I will throw over to Pete.
Kia ora. Yeah, I'm Pete, and I'll be playing 2 characters tonight. Well, I'll be playing 1 character because Mithan is currently unconscious. But I usually play 2 characters. The first one is Leif, who is a half-elf warrior mage. So he uses a long sword and can fight, but also can cast a variety of spells. He's a good-natured fellow, reasonably quiet, but likes to connect with people, and is a caring sort of person. I'm going to choose to answer the same question as Mason and Demos about, and answer it in the same way. Does he hold any party member on a pedestal? He does know some people well enough to put them on pedestals, and he would answer the same sort of way, really. Values each member for different aspects. Hard to sort of articulate everything all at once, really, I guess.
Sure.
To do it justice. Perhaps he could write. Actually, maybe I'll do that. Write his impressions of each person, perhaps, in the way. Yeah, I might have a go at doing that at some point.
Cool.
The second character we're playing is Mithan. She is a Northman? Highman, I think. She is a ranger, which means she's good in the outdoors. She chooses to use a bow, but can also use a broadsword, and she's got a small amount of healing skill. She's got a small amount of herb knowledge as well. She's not a particularly friendly person. She's really, really defensive, and also a bit emotion blind, or just doesn't relate well to others or care about others particularly. The question I'm going to answer for her is, what's a taboo you've broken? Well, in the same vein, the taboo she's broken is she just doesn't conform to social norms, really, in any way. She speaks her mind, she tells people actually how she feels, and she doesn't care for people's opinions in any way. Usually, she is beginning to warm to this party because of the ordeal and trauma they've been through, but also because of the sort of, not quite unconditional, but I do think that their action, we have all saved each other unthinking and looked out for the party good unthinkingly, and that transcends words, really, and she feels that, and it's meaningful to her. First experience, well, close to being the first experience in her life where that's.
Excellent.
Wonder if we could hear from Silvioross, please.
Sure. Kia ora, I'm Alex. I play Silvioross. She's a Northwoman. She is a storm mage, so she's got some pretty gnarly magic up her sleeve or up her fingertips. So she's really fun to play. She is quite naive. She looks young. She might appear young, a bit emotionally labile. Heart of gold, wears it on her sleeve. Bit of an open book. She also has her wee companion, Victory, who's a very, very valued member of the team, and Victory's a wee cat who was rescued. And she's just having a good time, like saving animals.
And the world.
And the world, but yeah, she's here to save. She's got a strong moral compass for those vulnerable in society. Question is, have you ever secretly disagreed with the party's decision? What did you do? Earlier off screen, around Dormy, the sausage dog. She's never openly disagreed. She is a bit of a follower. But she really felt it when the Athenal sort of tried to put a foot down and stop the rescue of Dormy. I know it took us off track, and I know it took, I don't know, a day and a half, and we faced danger.
Oh, and Demos got blinded as well.
Oh, there's that. But, I mean, Demos isn't salty, and, Dormy's living his best life. And what greater reward? I mean, you've got another one. Yeah? So, yeah, that's probably the only time. Too soon.
Too soon.
So, yeah, that's where Keros is at.
Thank you very much. And speaking of salty Neanderthal, Graham, take it away, please.
Salty? She's not salty at all, actually. Neanderthal is she's quite affable, really, most of the time. But just what lies beneath is maybe less savoury, but generally speaking, she's pretty okay company. A bit intense, but not too strange. Or she is a Magent. She is an elf. Magent being a sort of mix of different professions, really, a kind of mix of part fighter, part sneaky person, part user of mentalism magic. And in terms of a question, what's a taboo you've broken? Well, I mean, a social taboo, possibly murdering people in cold blood. But, on the other hand, what's a personal taboo that she's broken? Probably not murdering people in cold blood, in a sense that we're on a mission from God, and she's had to kind of get on with that and save the world. So she's just pressed pause on her own kind of mores and her own kind of interests, and so she's had to pass over some things that she'd rather be doing and that she believes she's put on this earth to do. So, but got to save the world, haven't you? So she's busy doing that right now.
Fair enough.
Yep. Other character I play is Etienne Gilderflower. He is a Genitrist, which is a type of holy warrior. He is a worshipper of Aphrodite and believes that he is acting in her wishes and in her name and is receiving signals from her that lead him on various quests. He's a very good-looking man. Even more good-looking than Demos. I mean, embarrassingly. And he is charmer too. He's a bit of a walking dreamboat, really. He's also very eccentric and very sort of passionate, and often speaks in rhyme, and is very enthusiastic about pursuing life successes in whichever form he can find them. But again, distracted at the moment, having to bloody save the world. Anyway, question: has he ever disagreed with the party's decision? Well, I think when he first met the party, they had slaves. He was utterly perplexed by this. He couldn't believe it. He'd been, thought he'd been told to seek these people out, and there they were with slaves. And he is violently opposed to any kind of servitude or oppression, and he couldn't believe it. But he chose to accept the explanation of the party that they were, weren't treating them like slaves and were just trying to find the right time to let them go. And indeed did find the wrong time to let them go, but we did at least let them go, which was good. So he kind of played along with that, and subsequently I think he's quite perplexed by the party generally. They're a very odd mix of people. Look, I mean, they work well together. They've all got special abilities, but they're a funny bunch. But, he's doing Aphrodite's will, so who is he to ask, to question?
Fantastic. As the goddess wills. Perfect.
Exactly.
Particularly well introduced one and all this evening. Bravo. There we go. That's the team. So, well introduced. Thank you. Can I please ask for a very, very quick summation of what happened last time, please?
I can start. Last session started with us just sort of negotiating with these. So we're on the Isle of Darn. We're trying to contact an informant, a political informant of a friend, Ningwen, and we're in her palace, in her estate, and it's under attack. We'd from the T-Cost people, we think. We had contact. We'd made it through her palace. We'd connected with others of her guard, her men-at-arms, whatever they are, at this gateway into the Water Gardens. We'd just sort of finished. We were sort of discussing a plan with them when suddenly the cry went up from their watchmen that they're coming, and bolts were fired, and we were right into the thick of battle. Upshot was we dispatched them all. Thanks, Kyros, for some amazing ice bolt work and some very good, spear work, and I can't remember, some good Neathanol work, I believe, as well. Stabbing them not in the back for once, I think. Things were going quite nicely, and then there was a bow shot from behind, and Mithan was felled, and Demos was felled. The last of them ran away, and Kyros cast the wood wall because there was also there was potential to have a lot more bow fire from out in the courtyard, out in the water garden. So we dodged to the side, out of the way of the bowmen that's sort of up the behind us in the corridor, and that's pretty much where I think we left it.
That's perfect. Thank you very much indeed, Pete. Excellent. So, just three last things from me, and unless anybody else has anything else to add, we're going to jump straight in. Three last comments from me. Firstly, we sometimes do a deep dive into Rolemaster rules. We're not going to tonight because it's likely to be, or potentially going to be, a shorter game. Secondly, Graham, Neathanol, I made a incorrect call last session. Neathanol cast an air wall at the mouth of the tunnel, and I incorrectly ruled that it didn't go off. It did. So the spell is in place. So take that as read, that there is now an air wall in front of the tunnel entrance. I won't go into my error, but long story short, I made an error. Apologies for that. There is an air wall in front of the tunnel. The last comments I would make is, Pete, you referenced in your very good summation that at very last seconds, Kyros put a wood wall up in place, and she did. And I was just listening to the recording recently of last session, and I think I made it clear that there wasn't a volley, so I didn't say there were hundreds of arrows, but I was a little bit misleading in terms of the quantity. Your characters are not, they're sitting there kind of, listening to what's going on. They're in the middle of a fight for their lives. But you would have heard probably no more than 5, maybe 6, but more likely less than 5. Either bolts or arrows or missiles, whatever it was. Basically, a second or so after Kyros put that wall up in place, of projectiles hitting that wall. So your characters would be reasonably experienced, and they would have a sense of listening to things in battle a little bit. And while they weren't, up there trying to pick everything, they probably would be aware this wasn't like 20 or 30 bow shots. It was certainly sub 10 and potentially sub 5. So just as a bit more information for you. If there are no more questions, jump in. By the time I count to 3, going once, going twice. In that case, let's start the game. We are indeed here. The wood wall is up, courtesy of some great spell casting, the very last second from Kyros, as discussed. Looking at the scene from this direction, there are several of these foes' bodies that are down. Sadly, there is one of Ningwen's staff that also was felled. This guy here cut him down. Demos, you took a shot to the heart, your Turblane, etc., and your Demos is lying here. Etienne, you grabbed the one surviving ruffian and have put him very, very much in front of you, and you have a sword at his back, and you're kind of using him as a bit of a meat shield. Nathaniel, you're out of sight on the tunnel edge here. Keros, you're here. Mithan was the first to be shot here. And Leif, you're here. There's this one of Ningwen's staff team men, whatever, with a bow that is slowly creeping around this corner. He hasn't got quite to that angle, but he almost. He's got his bow out. He's right by you, Leif. And there are another two here. One armed with a spear, one armed with a sword. That's the angle, and that's where we left it at. Your attention has quite understandably, as a party, shifted to down the tunnel. Now, just very quickly, unfortunately, I've tried, and I can't take that hill to bits. So instead, we're going here. So the scale is exactly the same. The characters are placed roughly the same, and unfortunately, we're going to alternate a little bit between both this view and the other view, because I can't unfortunately take that hill to bits. Probably those that were just leaping out of the way were aware of a shadowy figure down the tunnel. This here is the tunnel, and you'll recall that the tunnel goes round, meets up, and then goes up, branches off that way, rounds to a very similar entrance around the other side of the water gardens, and then the other tunnel goes back in the direction of the kind of the glass house that you were in previously. That is where we're going to begin, and we're going to go into rounds. And go new counter. We're off. Initiative. Oh, no, wrong one. Damn it. Hang on a second. Hang on. Let's reload that. Just one sec. Fuck. One. Much better. There we go. New encounter. And we are off with initiative. Bang. And Nathaniel, you're first to act. Now, fair to say you don't know this person exactly is there, but you've certainly seen a bow person, or you're aware that someone is there. You can certainly hear movement down the tunnel, and you can hear movement from probably more than one person, you think. What do you do, Nathaniel?
So just to confirm, I cast the spell.
You did. There is an air wall, whatever an air wall effect is, and that was across the tunnel mouth there.
Yeah, I was looking to inset it as far as I could.
To inset it, okay.
Yeah, as far as that is realistic, because she's obviously broadly aware that the passage did a turn, so she was kind of interested in doing it a little further up the passage so that
so it's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that spell is, I was just trying to look up, but that's duration is a C, so that's as long as I concentrate. Is that correct?
Correct.
And yeah, so she's gonna concentrate. Out of interest, can I do anything else apart from concentrate, like talk, or is it?
Yeah. So concentrate is a 50% action, so you've got 50% of your activities to do what you wish.
Well, I think she'd just say, tell the team that what she's done.
Team.
Hello, team. Your attention, please. I've cast air wall. Will repel, and statistically, won't totally stop attacks, but how to put this in colloquial words. we'll make them very unlikely to hit anyone.
Okay, done. Cool. She's cast that last round. She's concentrating this round. She just said that. Cool. Okay. Okay. And okay. Yep, okay. Leif, you're next to act.
Can he? I mean, Can he see up the corridor a bit? I mean, peering.
Oops. Well, not from where I... Well, he can see... I don't know.
I mean, he's out of...
He can see kind of from there. He can see kind of that.
Cool. Can he see the... Oh, so is the air wall visible?
Don't know. Is the air wall visible, please, Graham? What's the
Well,
description?
let me read you a little description. Creates a shimmering, transparent wall of highly compressed air. All attacks through the wall are 100 minus 100, spell attacks minus 50. Attempts to move through the wall require a very hard strength maneuver and will take 1 round to complete. Light-based attacks are totally immune and will not be affected by the wall.
Cool. So you
Does that
said...
mean shock bolt?
Did you say 100, negative 100 to bows? You did, didn't you? Yes.
Yep.
Cool.
Spells minus 50, any other attack minus 100, requires very hard strength maneuver.
Cool, got it.
Get through. Yep.
So Leif...
And, sorry.
Yep.
And light attacks aren't affected.
Nope.
Does that mean lightning bolts or shock bolts can make it through unaffected? Is a shock bolt a light attack?
I doesn't say light attack. It says light can't get through. Correct.
Light-based attacks.
Light attacks are unaffected. So yes. So shock bolts, sudden light, lightning bolt would still work. Yes, based on that information.
Interesting. Okay. Leif is going to... Yep, he's going to prepare and step out a little bit.
All right.
Shield up.
Okay, so step out where?
Not quite in view, but he's going to prepare for 1 or 2 rounds, and he wants to be able to move 10% so that he can see up the corridor when he's ready to cast.
So it's about there.
I suppose his 10% movement would, from even where he's standing now, would get him to see up the corridor. 6 foot is 10%.
Yep. So he moves to kind of there.
So I'm saying when it's time to cast, he'll have he'll have 25%. Stupid me. He'll have 25% movement, and he can well and truly move 25% and see out the corridor and cast in the same round, can't he? Yep. No, he'll stay where he is. My mistake. Sorry. He'll just prepare.
Okay. Cool. Done.
And he'll say, I intend to sleep them.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Keros is next.
Keros and Victor would like to wander back to the water gardens and just have a nap. Oh, we laugh. In lieu of that, can she hear any movement beyond the wood wall?
Give me a perception. You've got a choice. You can either do a 10% action, so like just a quick look and a listen at negative 20 to your perception, or you can spend 30% of your activity for no negative. So look and listen.
I'd like to spend 30%, please.
Go. To be masked, of course.
71.
71, thank you. 71. Oops, a daisy. $71. Okay, and what's her bonus?
Her perception is general perception is plus 36.
Okay. Do you hear anything from beyond the wood wall? No, don't.
Okay. She would like to. I don't know if she did this last time or not because I went to bed, but if she could have her bow ready with an arrow, I don't know if she needs to string it or I've got 70% left. Could she knock an arrow and stand not facing either way, but facing, facing the way I'm looking at it, 3 o'clock?
Yep. So, when you guys arrived in this area, Keros ditched her gear, including, I had thought,
Oh,
you
no.
didn't tell me otherwise, her bow and her arrows and her pack, but she drew her sword.
Oh, no. Did I?
So you either dropped it here, or you dropped it here. Give me a dice roll, please. If it's 50% or under, it's... Oops, a daisy. It's here. If it's 50% or over, or 50 or over, it's here. So which side of the tunnel it is?
Oh, Keros. Oh, 4? Is that masked?
No. No.
Okay.
So Keros, you dropped your bow, your arrow, basically at Neathanel's feet. And your pack.
Can I run and get it?
Definitely you can. Yeah. Okay. Give me a roll for running, please.
Oh. God, you have to be so careful with what you leave behind.
Mm-hmm. This will be a trot at this stage because you wouldn't have built half speed for a run, but give me a roll.
54.
54? Cool. So as you pick up speed to run across this open space, you catch a glimpse of movement, and this man steps out and aims and fires his bow at you.
That's not nice. Can I duck?
You can. Let's see if he shoots you first. He does have negative 100, courtesy of the air wall, to this shot. Doesn't have surprise. And, okay. No.
Well, we know what side he's on.
Fair to say, Keros, you'd hate to have thought what would have happened if you'd tried that run without that air wall there. But he steps out, he fires the bow at you, and you see for a fraction of a second, Keros, you in your mind's eye, you just see this arrow with your doom. Potentially the same bow that's felled either one or two of your companions coming straight at you, an arrow coming straight at you. But then it hits this invisible barrier, it twists and turns, and it falls to the ground. He steps back around the corner. Here, you run over and you're right next to Neathanel, and you have your... Whoops, you're on top of Neathanel. And
easy.
You have you're slightly further there. You have access to your bow and arrow, and I would say to pick up something from the ground... Yeah, I'm going to say you've picked up your bows and your arrows at this time. One question, what are you doing with your drawn sword? Or would you... No, yeah, what would you have done with your sword? I think you'd probably dropped it.
Was it drawn? Because I did the spell, so I wouldn't have held the sword,
true.
Right?
So the sword's still in a sheath at your side. So you've picked up your bow. You haven't loaded, but you've picked up your bow and your arrows. Cool.
Oh my god, that actually could have been it.
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
I don't know. But you can thank Neathanel for putting up an air wall.
That was rhetorical, GM. Thank you. Thank you, Neathanel.
Do it.
Mithan.
Yeah, try it.
Can you please roll again a 50% and tell me if you're above or below the 50?
Above 50?
Above 50? Great. Can you roll a 1d4, please?
extra lives.
4. 1.
1. Okay. Cool. Thank you. That's great.
Is that what I wanted?
I don't know. Is it? I really don't know. Next up is Etienne. So Etienne, you've just seen Keros make this incredibly brave decision to run across here. She miraculously made it. You've seen the bowman step out, fire, and step back. I'm not going to ask for a perception roll because you are looking this way. You can't see who or what they are, but you have seen some other movement or the slightest glimpse of someone else down the tunnel as well. You have one of these people in front of you at sword point. What do you do?
Who is behind him and the wood wall?
No one.
Seems to me we're turning our back on another possible line of attack. He's closest, right?
Yes.
So I think cognizant that hearing Myathanal do her thing, and there's a lot of people down that end already, I think he will swivel the guy around, reminding him that he will run him through if he argues, and he's going to march him to the wood wall. And he's, there's on the wood wall, there's a narrow gap, isn't there, in the wood wall on one end?
Right there.
Yeah, he's going to put him there, facing outwards.
Okay.
Through the gap in the wall, and he's going to be behind him.
Cool.
And he says, "Can you tell me what you can see?"
All right. What language is Etienne speaking, please?
Well, have we had I know we haven't had long conversations with these people, but have we actually exchanged any? Have we heard any words that would give him a lead on that?
You certainly. Oh, did you? I can't remember off the top of my head. Certainly, Ningwen's troops are speaking South Tongue. And actually, yes, I think you did. You threatened this guy, and he spoke in South Tongue to say, basically, sure. Does he speak South Tongue?
No.
Etienne doesn't. Okay.
So he'll try Westron and Therobronic.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's not going to get an intelligent answer,
So Westron, no, but Therobronic, the man kind of grunts, says, "I see tree. I see water."
All right. You keep an eye on that tree.
Okay.
And I won't kill you.
Okay. Cool. Anything else for Etienne this round?
Well, no, I'm just interested. So he'll look over it. Basically, I was hoping that someone might loose a shot off. He's going to have a little peek over the man's shoulder through the crack. Can he see anything?
Cool. Give me a perception roll, please. Be a slight minus.
66. Was that magic?
Mast.
Mast.
It is Mast. Don't forget, Mast absolutely swings both ways. It could be amazing, or it could not. Plus one again.
He's only 15.
Yeah. Okay. So, from this map, oops. Let's try coming here. Here we go. To this map.
Another world.
Yeah. So here's the gap that you were talking about, and yeah, you definitely catch a glimpse of a couple of people. They're not static, but they kind of crouch down, 1, 2 at least, and they are definitely looking in your direction with missile weapon. From you think by the way that they're standing. You see that one? I'm probably being a bit generous to say you see that one, but yes, you definitely catch a glimpse of this guy here. That's
so it. I think Etienne's going to jam this guy against the wall and just stay there to see in case anybody comes closer.
Okay, done. Okay. back to this map. Cool. Thank you, Etienne. Moving along. This guy here. Guardsman aims his bow, and he doesn't step out, but he definitely keeps his bow trained on this bit. What language would Niethel have said that she's cast an air wall, by the way?
Well, probably South Tongue if she's heard South Tongue.
She speaks South Tongue.
She doesn't speak South Tongue, so definitely not South Tongue. So I guess it's probably either Westron or Thribonic.
It's been Westron that you guys have been speaking commonly. Okay. So he steps out and has kind of now got this part of the tunnel covered. Doesn't make any move at the moment. Cool. Yeah, you hear these two talking, and you're not quite sure what they're saying. They're kind of whispering to each other. Not quite sure. Cool. Chap with the spear, this guy here, who seemed to be the leader before. Pete, you had the name before, and I forget it. Was it Dagram? I think it was.
Yep, correct.
Yep.
Dagram.
Dagram calls out to Mithan. No, not Mithan. She's unconscious. To who was it she had the conversation with? Was it Nieth? No. Yes, it was. It was. But there's one other. Oh, and Demos.
And Demos.
So Dagram is saying something to the party. You guys have got no idea what he's saying. He's not yelling, but he's shouting, and then he kind of looks around you all. None of you speak his language.
We communicate that by blank looks.
Yeah, basically. Okay. Demos, can you please also give me a roll and tell me if it's 50 or below, or 51 or above?
I rolled a 51.
51? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can you also roll... Can you roll a 1d3, please?
A 1d3, okay. 3.
3, okay. Thank you. Thanks very much. And that is the end of the round, and the GM, after a couple of beers, needs to head to the loo.
Who does have those earbuds? Ear cuffs. Is it Niethanol?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
I was
I've
going to say. Yeah. Good.
Yes, she has. Yeah, she can activate those next time.
And I'm not sure where the second pair was, but I've got it written on Mithan's character sheet.
Right, well, probably Mithan then.
You'd be more accurate. Yeah.
Well, unlike in the other party, we misplaced one set.
So, any ideas how we tackle this? Obviously, they can still shoot through. She can drop that at any time.
Leif's will try and put that guy to sleep. Hopefully there's only one. There might be more than one.
There's more than one.
You think there is?
Nathaniel was told that she heard more than one.
Right. Okay. Oh well.
But sleep's a good idea.
Although Leif can only cast sleep up to 6th level, so there might be more than that.
Well, you get one of them, wouldn't you?
Well, if they're not 7th level, yeah.
I mean, obviously Etienne's not best place because he's busy, but he can calm 2 targets. I mean, they would presumably get a roll against that, but he could calm them for 1 minute per level.
What does calm do, though? Does it stop them fighting?
Target will take no aggressive action and will fight only if attacked.
Fantastic.
Which he could do if he were not where he is now. But I kind of think it's important that someone keeps an eye on the wall.
I mean, Leif can try a sleep spell and then go and do that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to say, GM, sorry, Leif would have been putting pressure on his wound.
You're on mute.
Sorry, GM is back. Yes, duly noted. Thank you. Thank you for the heads up that I was on mute. Thank you. We're away. Neathanol, you're up.
Can she retain concentration and activate her earbud things?
Sorry, no. Casting a spell is a 75% action. To concentrate, she needs to do 50%.
And she won't do that. She'll say, I don't think these blokes here have understood what I'm saying. Can some of the rest of you try some different languages or maybe do some charades?
Okay. Is she doing anything else?
Well, not much she can do. Oh, she will say, look, if anyone's passing a longbow, I'm here concentrating. And there's a spare one. I'd appreciate it. But,
cool.
If you're not busy.
Cool. 2. Okay. Just a sec. And what number was... Whoops, a daisy. Okay. Pretty hefty minus. Ooh, shot though. Etienne, you're up by the wall. You've forced this guy up there to stand in the gap, and suddenly there's a there's a whack as an arrow misses the gap, but smashes into the wall. Quite close to this guy. He flinches in front of you and yells something incomprehensible across the other side. Says something.
Okay, well, I'll just... okay. It's not my go, is it?
Oh, yep. Oh. Just coming. And again, there's a second. This time it hits the other side, so there's a bit of stonework here. And again, this guy yells out, but his tone is a lot more panicked, and he's screaming this time. Yeah, if
Can
you
I get a sense of the angle?
No, pretty much in front, you think?
Okay.
Yep. Leif.
Leif will continue preparing.
Cool.
He will. That's 90%. So he will just try to communicate with the guy, our friend who's talking. In as many words, he'll try Thebronic, which he speaks to 5, and he'll say, if it's got 10% action, he can say, we don't understand. She has done a magic, a wall to stop arrows pointing at the corridor.
Okay. The spearman, his companion, this guy here, seemed to know a lot more Thebronic, but this guy seems to get it, and he's okay. He kind of nods and kind of makes a bow gesture, and then does the cancel kind of symbol. Okay.
Leif will nod and and want to try and understand if they say something back and have an opportunity to respond as much as he can if he can.
Cool. So this guy steps out, and 2 bows are fired almost simultaneously. This one here, firing, and this one here, both at each other. This chap gets to fire, so your companion gets to fire first. Oh. No. Well, does that work? Let's try. 23 versus 7. The negative 100. Yeah. So both arrows, both your ally's arrow and then the person down the tunnel, not that anybody's probably watching, both hit this barrier and fall to the ground, ineffectually. Keros, you're standing here. You've got a bow and an arrow unloaded yet in your hands.
Cool. What to do with her one life? She. Oh, how we joke, how we laugh. She would like to keeping to the sides so she's not hit. Can she move up to the wall, and can she put the arrow in her bow? Is that called knocking an arrow? Yeah. Can she do that as she moves? Pardon?
As she's walking up to the wood wall?
Yes.
Okay. Let's have a look at this.
Undercover, so she's not going to be shot, right? She's not. Yeah, she's like out of range of the tunnel dude.
Oops, a daisy. Wrong one. Line. Keros. Damn it. Just gonna.
Just say yes.
Yeah, hang on. What I'll do, actually, let's do.
That's a big arrow you have. Perfect.
No.
Actually, she'd like to go back to the garden. That's her final answer.
She is in the garden.
The other side of the garden.
Oh, the other side. That's a 50-foot distance. She can walk there and knock a bow and around, simultaneous action. Yeah, I'd say she can do that. I think that's reasonable. What's her base movement rate, please? Actually, just to check.
And she's obviously doing this in a way that she doesn't get hit. Base movement, unencumbered, is 50.
Okay. So the tunnel is here, yes? And she is moving up to here. So you tell me...
Yes, and she's going to stay out of sight and all of that.
So I would say that she would have her back to the tunnel, and people in the tunnel would be able to see her as they can see Etienne.
Oh. How many people in the tunnel again?
You don't know.
Oh, shame. Oh, Keros, what are you going to do? Can we just zoom in a wee bit, GM?
That's one angle, and that's yep. The other angle is there.
So there's no way to get there without being like totally out of sight.
Well, she's wanting to go here.
She's wanting to go and help at the front. Yeah.
Yes, understood. So you've got a tunnel that now there's a slight slope going down this direction, but you've got a tunnel at the back, and someone in the tunnel could definitely see up to the wood wall and could definitely see up here. You know, sure.
What if she doesn't knock her boat? What if she just runs like in Game of Thrones, but doesn't run in a straight line?
Sure. Where's she wanting to go to? Is the question.
Can she cut diagonally across? I'm obviously pointing at the screen.
Yep. So hang on. Again, back to here. Whoops, a daisy. Ooh. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that.
Sorry for taking time. I just don't want to die because
Yeah, fair enough.
last life and all.
Yep, sure. Yeah, it's a bit of a tense situation. So she's there.
Yeah.
You tell me. So that that's the situation. That's the tunnel mouth. See on screen in a second. Here you go. So that's the tunnel mouth. She's standing right where that arrow is. Where here?
Actually, yeah, no, we're not going to zigzag. She's going to keep to the side. I guess that's rockery and shrubbery and foliage there. She's going to keep to the side, run and get down as far as she can forward, but she's not going to stand in the middle and be like, "Hey, shoot me."
Okay. So if you look at what's on screen, someone from down the tunnel would probably be able to see kind of all of that. So definitely they would have a sign of Etienne's back. That's kind of the point I'm making. Yep.
Okay, so she's not going to do that. Oh, what's she going to do? What's she going to do?
Oh, you can definitely do what you said.
No, I'm going to not do that because I feel like... What's she going to do? What's she going to do? She's going to have a nap. No, she's going to stay put. And she's going to put an arrow in her bow, knock an arrow to be ready. She wants to go and help her buddies, but she's on her last life. That little pillar there on the left, see how there's like a wee little pillar? That. Sorry.
Hang on a sec, just a second. I'll give you a better view in a second.
Sorry, I'm taking all the time. Sorry.
So that's...
Oh, yeah.
So Etienne is current. I haven't. That's on the other map, but Etienne's basically standing at that little crack there. There is a pillar there. Yes, there is. To give you another. To give you another view. To give you another view. That's kind of what we're talking about.
Oh God, there's no cover.
Who needs cover?
Someone with one life left and a GM. Anyway, she is. What's she gonna do?
You can have a conversation if you like.
Yep, she's going to call out what to do. Can she do that?
Sure. Anybody who has acted so far can shout out to Kyros in a word or so, if they wish to.
So Niathanor would just say, suggest we organise for attack, and I'll release the wall at the appropriate moment. Coordinated.
Okay.
Coordinated.
Okay.
So that tells me I need to be at the other wall.
The wall. You're at the wall already, right?
I'm at the wood wall, aren't I?
No, you haven't. You haven't run.
That wall. Yeah, sorry, not the wood wall. The other wall.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start. Yeah.
Leif's thought is that, he could say shock bolt him.
I don't have enough power points, do I?
Shock bolt's two power points, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
From memory.
Oh, it is 2.
So, I don't know, because that's a spell that can go through the air wall unaffected.
So sorry, I thought that was 7. Why did I have that in my head? Okay. She'll shout out, thanks, Leif. How much movement have I got? I don't have enough to cast, do I?
I'm going to say I'm gonna restrict you because you initially said I'm gonna run. So I'm gonna give you a penalty and say you've got 90% of your action left. What do you wish to do?
Can I do a spell with that? Let me look at that orange table.
Yep. Yes, you can. 75%.
75. I thought it was 75. Okay. Oh God, PowerPoints. Can I see him?
At the moment, you're carrying around the corner. You can't see anybody. Well, you can't see any foes.
God. I'm going to hold.
Okay. Cool.
If that wall's coming down. Sorry for all that time. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, the pressure!
So Etienne, back to you. This guy in front of you is kind of twitching and looking pretty nervous. An arrow's kind of landed there and there, and he's looking a bit twitchy. He also feels the fact that he's got your sword right in his back. Speaking of Etienne, it is now your go, Etienne.
Right. Well, he's figured out what's going on there. So he's gonna say, "All right," spin the guy around without putting his own back at the gap, and put the guy again between him and the other way this time. And he's going to he'll march down the other way.
Okay.
Keeping that bloke, but I mean, to the side of the other people, it's to the side where the whoever it is there to the right.
There?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
This guy in front of him, and remind him, not, just hold still, and everything will be absolutely fine. And he will say to all assembled in a different tongue that they usually speak, and the one he's not been speaking to the bloke.
Yep.
That we should organise a coordinated attack. If we all hold our actions, Yathanol can let the wall down, and then we do an assault. What do you think?
Okay.
Ask the opinion of the party.
Okay. Anybody that has yet had an opportunity to act or speak can say yes or a no if they agree or otherwise.
So who has acted or not?
So far, who has acted? Yes.
Yes, from Leif.
Yes from Leif. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Yes from Keros. Right at this moment. Oh no. No, not right at this moment. This chap here with the spear, he's kind of glancing over his shoulder at his companion, who's looking pretty woozy, but begins creeping along with his spear and shield out, coming up behind you, Niathanol. It looks like he's ready to fight. He's speaking in a language that you can't understand. Number 7. This guy here looking very, very puzzled. He took a shot. He stepped back in behind you, Leif, and he's reloading his bow. That's strange. Mithan. No, sorry. Before Mithan. For anybody watching, this guy here collapses on the ground. And Mithan, right at this moment, you shake your head and you come to.
Hey, welcome back.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting to need to act. Okay. I guess that 78 and that one was a good thing.
I am going to ask for a orientation roll, just to kind of clear your head. Give me a roll, please. And I'll make this unmasked.
Great. 26.
Plus
75.
101.
Oh, 101.
101. It wasn't a good roll, and it's not fully successful. But I'm going to say you've got enough to kind of know what's going on. You glance down in front of you, and you just see someone disappearing, kind of around the corner a little bit, and you probably don't know what's going on behind you with that roll, but you're at least kind of aware of your companions here and someone down the tunnel, and your head hurts a lot.
Okay.
She's on the ground, of course.
Can she speak?
She can speak.
She'll say, "What the was that?" I guess I passed out. I'm awake. She'll try and, if she can sense that people are near her, she'll not want to be yelling it out. She'll just be wanting to say it. You know, she can. Yeah, she's obviously a baddie. She can see the air wall shimmering.
Yeah, true. She's just kind of woken up from being knocked unconscious, and that wasn't a great roll.
Yep.
No, I'm going to say she hasn't noticed it, Pete.
Okay, sure thing. Yep. So she'll just ask for a status update, basically. I suppose. No, I suppose she can act, can't she? She can get up.
Yes, she can.
Yep. Yeah, she'll get up and take cover, I think, if she's got the wherewithal, or look to people for direction, basically.
Sure.
I think that's...
So 50% allows her to get up. So she's on her feet. Anything else she's doing?
Can she move?
Yes, she can. Yep.
Yeah, should. I assume she's got enough. Yeah, she's seen that person moving.
She has. She's also aware that both Keros is pressed up against the wall.
Yeah.
Neathanel is as well, and this guy. She probably hasn't looked behind her yet. But
she gets the message. They're keeping out of sight. She'll go if she can. She's got enough movement to move behind the spear guy, behind Dagran.
Sure.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's such a relief.
Cool. Alrighty.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Demos. I'm sorry. Zzz. And that is the end of the round. Okay, initiative. And we're off. Okay. Alright. Neathanel.
Okay, she's going to talk, and she's going to say loudly in the language the party understand.
Mm-hmm.
Basically saying, say the word, she will drop, she will hold her action, and she will drop the wall. Arrows first, then charge. Arrange yourselves.
Okay. That's in Westron. She said it loud enough for everybody to hear. Everybody's heard that message and can act accordingly.
Can Mithan respond?
Come up to her.
Okay.
Yeah, come up to her turn. Unless it's. Yeah, come up to her turn. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Yep. Cool. Anything else, Neathanel?
Well, yeah, I mean, just talking really. And so if she can say more, she will say more.
Yeah, she's concentrating. It's a 50% action. You get 3 words free for your round, so fair to say you can speak. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, what she's suggesting is that someone signals to them. Next time that guy steps out, let him loose an arrow. We'll hold our actions. I'll drop the wall. You let off a volley of arrows from numerous people at the same time. That those who haven't fired arrows charge in. Does that sound like a good plan?
Cool. All right. All right. Leif, you've just heard that from Neathanel. What do you do? You'll be preparing now for, this is your 3rd round of prep.
Yep. He will. In Thebronic, for as much as he can talk for 10%, he will relay that plan.
Mm-hmm.
With opportunity that if the plan's going this round, I'm not sure who's going to signal.
Mm-hmm.
Then he will cast as well, and cast and move, but otherwise he will be preparing, but he'll try and relay that plan to to Dagran and to tell him to tell his friends.
Cool. All right, and you're saying that in Thebronic, yes?
Thebronic. That's all he's got.
That's all we got. Sure. Currently, yep. Cool. All right. Mithan, you're on your feet. You're awake. You're standing here. What are you doing?
She didn't. I suppose her bow is on the ground. I should have thought.
Correct.
That, but
Correct.
It's not
It's here.
realistic. She wouldn't have the wherewithal. She will reinforce that plan in South Tongue.
Cool. Okay.
So she will relay it. She doesn't have. Won't be able to.
Yep. Done.
No, she's not gonna go and grab her bow, but she will. And she can be the one to check the understanding. And actually, she can be the one to signal if.
Sure. Yep.
Yep. Dagran tells her that they're ready. She will let everyone else know.
And she's saying it loud enough, so who knows?
So, in her estimation, so that our party, well, there's only the two of them left, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay.
And she'll repeat in Westron as well.
Cool. Done.
Loud enough for just up to our party to hear too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's gonna roll. Yeah. Yeah. So Keros, Neathanol, you and definitely Leif. You hear some muttering. You can't make out what it is from down the tunnel, and the sound of footsteps.
Sorry.
Keros, you're next to act.
So, Chris, were they disappearing or getting louder?
Getting softer.
She's heard.
Yes. Oh God, yes. Yep. Everybody's heard.
Yep. So she's ready to act. She, if need be, will either fire her arrow or drop her bow and arrow and snapcast. Can she do that?
Yes, but who's your possible target?
Whoever.
Okay, she's currently facing a wall. Okay, cool, got it.
Oh no! But where they're coming from, not the wall. She's not going to at the wall.
Okay.
She's going to attack with the party, the incoming foe.
If you're attacked, so with opportunity action, you need to be reasonably descriptive about who you're facing and when and what your plans are.
Okay, she's not going to fight the wall.
Okay, good.
Very clear. She's going to fight anyone who attacks her and her party on the call of Mithan. Mithan's going to make that call, right?
Cool.
Did we decide? Yeah. Is that? Do I need to say more?
That's enough for me for the moment. Etienne, what do you do?
So has Etienne heard the footsteps?
Yeah, Etienne. No, he didn't.
Well, he'll kind of. Can he move up a little bit and not be shot, or from his estimation?
So there or something.
Yeah, just with the bloke in front. He's ready to go. He's assuming someone's going to call this.
Yep.
So he's ready to go. He's going to push that guy, so he'll hold the rest of his action. And he's going to get ready to go. Going to shove that guy in the back and march him forward into the abyss.
Cool.
But someone else needs to call it because it sounds like they're going to.
Cool. Cool. So, guy with the spear just says yes, good, to both Thebronic and South Tongue. Yes, understood.
Mithan, with the opportunity action question, shall we go now? They're leaving. Question to him. Is he wanting to know? Is he and his friend ready? Because it sounds like they're leaving. She was.
No. Yes. No. What about my mistress? I'd say forget the tunnel. What about my mistress? If they're going,
Okay.
good.
Very well.
This chap here has restrung an arrow. He's kind of figured out that something went really weird when he tried to fire, so he's not doing it. And that is the end of the round.
Mithan will say go, checking with Neathanel or checking with people, and then I think we just use our opportunity actions to go.
Down the tunnel?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Certainly Athenor would release the wall on hearing that.
Okay, cool. All right. Can you tell me who went first out of that? Neathanel was first to release the wall. Then Mithan can act. Who was? Yeah. Can you try? If you could try to remember who was next.
I think it was Leif.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So Mithan says go.
Yep.
Leif, you're first to act.
He will move to the side because he doesn't want to. He's not running in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can get a view up the tunnel, and he will be ready to, with the shield up, but cast sleep.
Okay. So moving up to what here?
No, sideways. He's not going in. He's going side. Yep. So he's out of the way of archers. He's not blocking the view. So
about there.
And, sort of looping around behind. He wants a view up the tunnel, so he'd go directly to his left and back a little bit. Yep, and back a bit. Yep. Yep, that's it. So he's not in anyone's way, but he can see up the tunnel.
Hmm.
Yep, and cast sleep on if he can see someone.
Okay, there is no one there.
Okay, he will say they're going.
Okay.
That's all he can do, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. Cool. Next, in terms of Nathanel, the wall is down. Mithan, you've said go. That's one word. The wall is down. That's your action, Nathanel. Who was next to act?
Probably Etienne, I think. Probably Etienne.
Or Keros? I can't remember.
I don't know, and I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Etienne, you're up.
Pushes the guy forward.
Okay.
And starts making his way. He's expecting people to join him. So he can't run, obviously, with that guy, but he's moving forward and inviting people to go with him.
Okay, cool. Next to act.
Keeping that guy, obviously, between him and up the passage.
Understood. Next to act, I think, was Eros.
Yep, she's keen to toe the party line. She's not keen to follow immediately.
Mm-hmm.
She might just call out, coming!
Okay.
And maybe hover at the entrance because she's only got 3 power points,
Mm-hmm.
but she's ready to cast if needed.
Okay.
But she won't be the first in. Sorry.
Cool. Next up would be Chappie with spear behind Etienne. He could probably walk 2 abreast. And this guy here kind of lingers back a little bit. How far down are you planning to go, Etienne? Can move.
I just want to. I mean, obviously we're looking as we're going.
Sure, understood.
So if we see someone, then we'll stop.
Okay.
I guess the point at which he probably pause for thought is when we get to the junction. Being wary that could be a good ambush point for them.
Okay. Cool.
So he would stop short of that and take cover behind his human shield.
Cool. Keros, there's now a bit of a gap in between you and Etienne. Are you doing anything else? Are you following along?
She might just come in a little bit into the tunnel. Now she's And what has she got? She's got her... I've still got my bow and arrow,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. I think that's it for the round. This guy isn't coming down the tunnel. You do have a companion with a spear right next to you, Etienne, and you have a meat shield in front of you. Mithan, you're currently there. Leif, you're currently there. Demos, Snoozy Snooze. That is the end of that round, and the GM... Oh, just not quite that end at the end of the round. Hang a second. I'll just quickly do that. And then do what is technically known in the trade. A bit of GM jiggery pokery.
We've all been on the end of jiggery pokery.
Oh, we all love a good jiggery pokery, don't we? We do. We do. It's nice.
More jiggery than pokery.
Speak for yourself.
Pokery sounds a bit like more arrows.
All right.
Nervous giggle.
All right. So you... one... Okay.
Mason, you all right? Do you want to play one of the? Do you want to play Etienne?
I'm fine.
Or
He's
Mithan.
having a snooze for power points.
Yeah, I don't think I could quite capture Etienne's essence.
Well, give him a bit of poetry now. Shall we go?
Oh dear. And a meat shield. But of all the people to use a meat shield, my goodness.
Yeah, well.
Oh, that's better than the ethanol.
Nope, I'm grand. I'm furiously making notes as we go through. I don't know if they'll be helpful at all, but
Of what ideas?
well, yeah, just sort of keeping an eye on what everyone's doing. Yeah,
That sneaky GM.
I haven't got any grand ideas yet, but I will.
Okay.
Well, we'll leave Demos to guard the gap, shall we?
So...
Yeah, prop them up.
Oops. So, Daisy. Here we go. Hang on. Boom. And going back to the map. So Etienne, you have very bravely with... damn, I moved the wrong guy. Never mind. You have... We're going to use another person. We will use this guy. Copy. Paste. Thought he was the wrong chap. So I incorrectly moved the wrong token. So you've moved your meat shield down here. The end of your round. You've got to about here. If you recall, when you came up this tunnel, there was this strange kind of, light that you could just... You couldn't quite detect where it was from. And Keris, you're following on behind. And you've come to... You recall the tunnel. It turns a corner around there. And that would have been basically where you could walk this round. That is the end of that round. Next round. Neathanel. Now you're obviously unaware of what's going on at the tunnel at this stage. Your wall is down, so you no longer have to concentrate. You have 100% action. What are you doing, please?
Well, I think she's aware that some people have been felled, and I think some of them had longbows. Is that correct?
Let's have a look. That guy had a spear. No, unfortunately, or certainly amongst your either companions or allies, this guy has a bow and he's using it. The chap that was here, that I have the counter who I've moved up here, had a sword. So no, there isn't a spare longbow.
Oh, I thought there were two longbow men.
No, there was one bowman, one guy with a spear, and two with a sword.
So there wasn't one up by the wall.
Two bows.
Really?
No, none. The only one, there were four, if you remember, there were four allies. One with a spear who was dead. One with a spear who was walking up beside Etienne. One with a bow, which is here, and another with a sword. who is unconscious or dead or not. You're not sure what, but is just keeled over behind Mithan. So no, there was only one bow. I'm sorry, and he's using it.
Okay. Well, I think she would. Has she worked out what language the bow guy understands?
Thebronic. No, South Tongue. I think.
Not Thebronic.
And some Thebronic, limited Thebronic.
All right. She will explain. They're gonna go round. She'll help use sign language, and we go round. Attack from the side. You watch the wood wall. Shoot anyone who comes round, and explain to our friend when he wakes up. Bye, and she's off.
Okay, cool. Where's she going?
Following the others.
On the others, cool. Cool. All right. Behind, or you're probably keeping pace with Keros. Okay, trotting along around behind Keros. Cool. Etienne, you're kind of clinking along in plate mail, and you hear the sounds suddenly of absolutely no sound of silence, of running feet, and they are going away from you. Several of them.
All right, we'll keep going.
Okay, cool. Keros, you're also hearing the same thing. So this band of merry people are kind of trotting their way along. Keros, anything else you're doing other than following along behind?
No, just trotting. Keen to know where Victory is.
She's by your side. She always.
Is she?
Yep. Always follows along.
What's her? Can I ask her reaction?
Yeah.
Do I notice anything? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, do I know? Is she like her? Oh, Victory. Is she her normal self? Is she? Oh, what's she purring?
She's had a little lap of the blood. There's been quite a lot of blood around. She's
Probably low on iron. Low on iron. Yeah.
She is low on iron. There you go. Yeah. She's had a wee lap, but no, she's okay. She's good. Trotting along behind.
Okay, cool. So not the reaction we saw in the middle space or the when we're in the weird space.
No. So
okay.
So you're walking along behind. Just to check, Etienne, you are walking, not running, correct? With your meat shield in front of you.
Well, I mean, I want to go at whatever speed I can get this guy to go at.
Okay.
While, keeping a hand on the back of him, and if he tries to do anything.
I guess the point is, you've heard people running in front of you, like some distance down the tunnel. You're walking, is my understanding. My question.
Well, how fast can I move?
Yeah, walking, realistically. Unless you wanted to ditch him, or you could maybe jog, but it would be... Yeah, it'll be harder to do that with a captive in front of you.
Oh, can I go 1.5, is it?
Yep, 1.5, sure. Yep, okay. So, Keros, you're kind of jogging along behind. Okay, Leif, you stepped out ready to prepare. You've just seen your companions head down the tunnel. What do you do?
He has wanted to follow on behind. He's going to, realistically, he'll go and check on Demos, because we haven't actually established if he's alive or dead. So he would run to Demos, check his vitals really quickly, and then catch up.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, the good news is, as you approach Demos, he stirs. Demos, you're awake.
Hey!
Oh, whew.
What happened?
Arrow from behind. We're in pursuit. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
Yep. Man, a few words, Demos.
Back to plan A.
Awesome. Nice to have you back, you'll say.
All right.
And
Don't mention the back. That's a bit.
Yeah. That's a sore point, I think. Yeah. Yeah, and I suppose Leif would want to keep would run off basically, yeah, or
Okay.
keep if Demos is ready to move with him, he'd go with him.
Cool. Done. Trotting off. Done. Cool. All right. Excellent. Thank you. Etienne, we've talked about your movements, so just say you continue down the tunnel. I'll just do a bit of description in a second. And then Mithan, what are you doing?
Picks up her bow as she follows on. She'll have tracked Neathal's conversation, and if she feels the guy's got it, fine, leave it. If she thinks he's confused, she'll reinforce it with a wee bit of South Tongue.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. But basically, she wants to hurry along as much as she can, and if she can start knocking an arrow as she goes, that'll be great.
Okay. Cool. All right. All right. Brilliant. Picked up her bow. Good stuff. And finally, Demos, you've come to. You're a bit blurry. I'm going to give you a bit of a chance to kind of shake your head and collect your senses, but you're functional. You're good to go. Once you're kind of on your feet after kind of tracking your senses, what do you do, Demos?
He'd grab his spear, and I'm assuming he dropped his spear and shield, so he'd pick those up.
Yep.
And take off after Leif.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. GM is going to do a little bit more jiggery pokery, and I shall come back in a second. So talk amongst yourselves just for a tick while we go back to that screen. And we're going to do this.
Good battle plan on the fly, Ethanol. Nice one.
Wow. We'll see. At
We'll
some
see.
point,
Sorry-
they're
sorry,
going
it
to
was-
turn around they're going to turn around and shoot us at some point, aren't they?
Sorry, Mithan sort of boomed it out to everyone, but oh well, it is what it is.
Oh, they're running. Yeah, well, I think probably back to plan A would seem like a good idea.
Yep.
Assuming that they're going round rather than running out of the complex.
Indeed. I like how you delegated that lone bowman to hold the gap.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Well, look, they'll have to climb over the wood wall. It's going to take them a little while. Isn't it? And they don't know we're not there. They've just seen somebody, in the gap.
Yeah, he should stick his head out from time to time.
And if they come on strong, he can always retreat and come and tell us.
You just say, "Oh no, thank you."
And actual fact, if they do advance, that's actually probably in our favour. So,
but they won't be, because these other archery ones will be bursting out saying, "Oh, coming."
maybe. Well, they're on the other side of the courtyard, but yeah.
See what we get.
I don't think we can really speed up any. Otherwise we'll just run into fire, won't we?
Mr. Shield, yeah.
Okay. Just about with you guys. Maybe I spoke too soon. Oops, a daisy. Do chat amongst yourselves. Very lonely when the GM has to do this.
I'm just thinking.
So at some point then we're going to have to coordinate our... We've got, what, 3 bow people? Perilous, Mithan, and Chummy. Oh, no, we
Chummy's
haven't.
staying
One.
behind, yeah.
Sorry, Anna. Chummy's staying behind. So we've got 2 bow people. Who else got a bow?
We've got a wood
Yeah.
wall maker.
And 3 power points to Keros.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You can use your bow. I think we might need your bow anyway. If if Nathan can find a bow, she'll join in. But
Mithan can do wood walls.
that's good.
Etienne could kill them with poetry.
Ooh.
Just joking. Just joking.
Ooh. That's unkind.
No, kill them, like put them into a trance. It's probably a better turn of phrase, forgive me.
Yeah, you could charm them. He's got amazing
That's
charm.
where I was going.
I don't think it was.
It was. I thoroughly enjoy Etienne's poetry. It brings me such joy. And we haven't heard some in a while, actually. Just saying.
Right. Just for that, I'm gonna bloody well
And
read your
Keros loves it.
bloody well read your son now. Just ceased to.
Oh,
Go and read to me.
There's some motivation, Chris, to do your jiggery pokery quickly.
Yeah.
Etienne will start spouting.
True.
Luckily, my Mac's gone on go slow, so I can't actually open up the poetry. Oh well.
No, I love it.
No, you don't.
Keros loves it. Keros loves it.
Just coming.
I remember when Etienne was first introduced and there was a beautiful soliloquy. And, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to dig that up and remind us.
There we go. Nearly done, guys. It's just a bit sometimes when the map is changeable, such as it is now. Cool. Put them there, and we are good.
That's all right. Mason and I can't even turn our computers on, so you're all good. Take your time.
All right. Very good. All right, cool. Bang. There we go. So, go to that view. So, here we go, guys. Coming back to the map view. We're coming out of rounds. Leif, you have clamped your hand on your injury. You're still trotting along, however. Everybody else is kind of following along. So the map, the collection for you is... no. Bang, 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 bang. The party, Etienne, my understanding is you're using your meat shield to keep in front of you, correct?
I would term it as such. It's just my new friend.
Your new friend. You're keeping your new friend in front of you. Everybody else comes along behind. Fair to say, you'll each get you'll all get a chance to kind of catch up. You get around to the to where the corridor split. So you remember coming to this T intersection as you first came down here. You're very, very cautious as you go around it. No sign of any foes. So the entire party, so the six of you, along with firstly your spearman companion, Dagran, and your new friend, Etienne, continue down the tunnel. You're keeping a very close ear and eye, and you keep someone looking out behind you, so you're very cognizant of having been ambushed once behind. You wind your way around, and you can see the tunnel there, the tunnel complex. So you've come around several corners, very nervous as you go around each corner, keeping shields up or keeping your captive in front of you. Come around the shields until you start to hear the sounds of running water and brighter light of the twilight of the setting sun, and you realise that you're getting up to this point here. What do you do at this stage? So you're all together. You're with each other.
Well, keep going.
Okay.
I think. I mean, they're quite familiar with this passage, and so they, aware of where it opens up, and that's where Etienne's certainly expecting trouble.
Yep.
At that point.
Yep.
And so as he comes to the last bend.
Yep.
He'll just slow up. And his new friend can have a little peek, and then following his new friend having a peek, Etienne will have a peek.
All right.
But allowing his new friend plenty of time to be shot.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Can I just say, as we slow, if Mithan has a round, she will lay her hand on Leif and cast a healing spell on him.
Go for it. Yes, you do have... you would have stopped. You would have had time to do that. Yes.
Cool. So she's doing it unprepared, but she is touching him, so that should negate that.
Yep. You roll.
Oh, man! With a 98!
The
that on an attack.
the healing spell is absolutely successful. What happens?
He heals 21 hit points.
Okay.
There's a 3d10, so...
3d10, cool. So Leif, you did have your hand clamped over your injury. You were on 77, you got 21, you're on 98.
Cool. That'll hold him. If... Let me just give me a second.
Still bleeding.
Yeah. She doesn't have a... doing a first aid will take too long, I believe. We're not stopping long.
I don't know what too long means.
Oh, I mean, we're maintaining our momentum, basically. We're not giving them time to stop. We are just slowing briefly, I believe.
I don't know. You have to ask
Yes,
the
is that the
players.
case, Etienne? Yep.
Oh, we keep going. Yep.
Yes,
That's that
yep,
final
yep. So
bend.
no, she doesn't have time to tie a bandage. We are keeping the pressure on them. So no. I think that's all.
Oh, well, he can if you want. Up to you. Just call
When
a
he's
halt.
not fighting, he'll have he'll keep the pressure on, so he's not bleeding. And when he is fighting, he'll just bleed one hit per round, and that's just the way it'll have to be for him.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Done. Etienne and Dagram, spearmen, are together beside each other. The captive is in front of you, and yeah, indeed, as you kind of step out of the tunnel and you kind of push him forward at your sword point, there is a... Let's see if that squishy sound was actually him being shot. It's 26. There we go. You're coming out of the gloom, so it's quite hard to see. Hang on a minute.
Well, while we're waiting, as Etienne's running down, he's going to just say to Carrios, "This is for the maiden, breaking eons of fettered chains, for the children she has birthed through blood and breaths of change. She calls them redemption, regardless of the names. This is for the maiden, making strong her bones, crushing our oppressors with swaying of her hips, her hands like doves, wild honey from her lips." And it goes on from there. But that's all right. Carrios, I'll keep. Don't worry. I'll keep poetry going as we run.
Carlos is blushing about swaying of hips and honey from lips. I mean, honestly, don't push her. She's in a fragile state at the minute.
This is for the maiden who traversed the underground, leaving her footprints while taming hellish hounds, like a seed breaking fallow ground, emerging fruitful garden, no longer bound by the nightmare of the past, but awakened from a dream of separation. She is merging realms between.
Oh, Etienne.
Blush.
Etienne.
Okay.
She needs to sit down. Where's her cat?
Lovely. Thank you, Etienne. So, thank you, Etienne. That was great. Perfectly timed. Etienne, you're here. Your captive is in front of you. Your companion with his spear is here. Party order next, please. Got time to organise yourself, so who where is going next?
I was just thinking we don't have really chance of if those guys run forward. There's no chance of bow shots up that corridor, is there?
No, but if they fire, it'd be good to get some bows in. Don't you think?
But we won't be able to fire past the people in front of us.
Correct.
Oh no, we're not at the lip then. We're actually
No, we're
quite
not
a way.
at the
No,
lip.
so,
So now-
sorry. You're coming up to the lip. You're coming up to the opening, but I'm just wanting party order before we get there.
Leif can be next.
Cool. Leif. Yep. Cool. And after that,
Silvioross could go unless she needs to be at the back. Unless there's any
Okay.
concern. Yep.
I-
Or maybe at the back. I don't know. She'll go wherever.
The Apto hasn't got much to offer at the moment there, so she'll hang back and just check there's no one following.
done. 2 remaining characters.
Mithan can... Yeah, does Demos want to go behind Kyros, and Mithan will go behind, or in the middle behind?
Yeah.
Cool.
That sounds good.
Okay,
Awesome.
just a rough idea. Cool. So, what happens is you get up to the opening. There's a noise, and then someone yelling something. Really, like sounds like they're cursing, and the sound of fumbling basically. And who speaks South Tongue, please?
Mithan.
Mithan. Mithan, the guy in front is you guys can see that. Can't you? So we'll go to the big map. Is just screaming at the top of his voice in South Tongue. As Etienne slowly prods him out. Etienne, can you give me a perception roll, please? We'll make this unmasked. We'll just go. Sake of time.
Can Mithan repeat what he's saying?
Yep.
Yep. Don't shoot, it's me, is what the guy, your meat shield's saying, strangely enough.
Give me a roll, please, Etienne.
He's my friend, he's not a milkshake. 64.
64 plus what's his perception?
15.
15. Yep. So it's not a great roll, but it's not a fumble. It's pretty much what I was after. So this is what you see. Bang and bang. Yeah. So you come out. You're in the same location as where the party originally came out into these quite beautiful water gardens. And you see this man here fumbling around with his bow and his arrow on the ground, kind of swearing. He's across the bridge from you. What do you do?
Can I reach him this round?
Can you reach him this round?
I mean, I'll ignore my friend.
Yep, sure, understood. So let's say you've come out there. Can you reach him this round? That's a very, very fair, good question. If you pegged it from where you are, you could reach him. You couldn't attack him. You could get up to him.
He gets 70 foot around his base movement.
140. And it's armor.
What is the compromise on that? I mean, he overcomes encumbrance easily. Because his base is 70, minus 10 for encumbrance, plus 26 for strength.
Right. That doesn't sound right. Can we compromise on 60 rounds? I'm not quite sure. That sounds a lot. Even in
Well, that
plate
is
armor.
his base.
Okay.
Well, his encumbrance is 10, minus 10, right?
Yep.
His base rate is 70.
Yep.
And his strength is plus 26.
Right. Okay. All right. So 140. Oops. run an attack. This is weird. Now charging, I've written down the charging rules, but I still can't make sense of them. So I'm just going to improvise at this stage. 150 foot, sorry, 100 foot away. I would give you, if you wanted to run an attack, like charge an attack, I would give you, and I'm just making this up on the fly, so we're not going to necessarily play these rules in the future, but just for the sake of moving the story on, I would say he can sprint up and try to hit this guy at running 140s, 10 off, so 100, so 50 to attack. So you've still got 50% action to attack. You could attack with a 50% action, Etienne. You would have no DB.
So
hang on, let me finish. I'm just thinking this through. So you could run up, assuming you don't fumble your running roll, you could run up and you could try to hit him. You'd have plus 50 to your attack. I'd give you plus 50 to your roll, however, because of the impact. But you would have no DB because you're basically charging up with no sense of protection. So so you get plus 50. I'm just to clarify for my own self. So you get 50% of your action, so 50% of your OB to attack. You would get plus 50 for the charge, so basically the momentum of you rushing up to try to hit him. So whatever your 50% of your OB is, plus 50% for the momentum of you running. However, you sacrifice your DB as a result. So you're cool.
And what sort of state is he in? He's fumbling. Like when you say,
Well, he's on. You see him grasping for something on the ground. He's reaching down on the ground.
So he could pick that up next turn, and then just shoot me. Yeah. Well, if he's gonna, I think then in that case I might leave it to the bow people.
Okay.
And rather than charge headlong into danger, because I don't know where the other person is, he might just shoot me as soon as I go through the arch.
Okay.
He's going to run up to the side, and you see there's a little platform to the left of the arch.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
He's going to run up to that.
Okay, I mean,
leave it.
The guy is... Okay. Okay,
Got
cool.
around the corner from it, so, and then set himself up for the...
Okay, cool.
And therefore allow for some bow fire.
Alright, cool. So, what do you do with your friend, your meat shield in front?
Oh, I just I'll leave him for the, I'll leave him for the next.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, I won't do that. That's dumb. I'm going to keep going with it. I will go across the bridge with my new friend and staying to the right of the bridge, so that I'm not in line of bow sight with that character.
Okay. So I'm going to give you first action because you're kind of the first one to see the situation and comprehend it, and then we're going to go into rounds for the rest of the round. So
he'll go on the very right of that bridge, very far right, and move towards. Across the bridge, but allowing people, if they wanted to step to the left to shoot, if that makes sense.
So he's going there, basically.
Yeah, with my new friend in between me and the bow person.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to move your counter up. What speed is he moving?
Oh, as I was before.
So kind of jogging?
Yeah.
So 40. Yeah, you can make that in a round. Yep, okay.
Okay.
So this guy is, he's seen Etienne and he's shouting something at he's shouting as Etienne is approaching. Nathanel, that's Etienne's turn, so Etienne has gone first, but your first act, you're further back in the party, probably about 3 rows back. You realistically would have to shoulder your way through other people at this stage.
I'll delay my action until they moved.
Okay, cool. Okay. Cool. So, actually, I'm not going... I said I was going to move your counter in a second, but actually... No. There we go. I'm going to move it now. Etienne. So, here's your friend, Etienne. Here's Etienne himself. And we'll just shrink it down. Cool. And we'll just move it there.
Excuse me.
So you move him up, keeping him in front of you, and you get him to kind of... I think your attention was about there. And... Oop, hang on. Oop, a daisy. And... So the guy in front of you here, 27 foot away, is absolutely freaking out, and is just yelling. And all of a sudden, this woman rushes around the corner, Etienne, and she moves and attacks. She has a few... Yep, she does a quick kind of orientation roll, so she's moving and attacking, and she runs around the corner, or moves around the corner, and attacks you, Etienne. She gets a flank attack on you. Now, she's had to make an orientation roll. She's been alerted to where you are, but she's had to make an orientation roll, and she's also moved. So I'm going to give her a reasonably hefty penalty. She's also using a rapier. Etienne, you don't have your shield, but you do have your DB of 29. And you are wearing your armor. So she's using a rapier on half plate. She sticks it at you, Etienne. Just manages to catch you. Just an absolute glancing strike. Etienne, she was aiming for your head. You thought, oh my goodness, my days are numbered. Glancing strike, and she literally just grazes your cheek for 1 hit point. Next up is Keros. Keros, you've seen Etienne run up. You've seen the space as described in front of you. What do you do, please? You are down.
Where am I? Sorry.
You're down the tunnel, so you're down here.
And I've seen Etienne be attacked. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to run. How far, GM? Is it?
Okay. So you're there. Distance of roughly where you are at the tunnel mouth is, I don't know, call it 80, 100, approximately 100 foot to this guy, 80 or so to here.
Can I run and fire?
No.
Oh.
So firing a bow is a 50% action, and so you can decide what you want to do with the remaining 50%. So sorry, I take that back. Yes, you can.
So I could run 50% and then fire.
Correct.
And how far would 50% get me? So half of 100 foot.
Yeah. So
is that how it works?
Yeah. Well, what is your base movement rate?
Movement. Unencumbered. It is 50.
50. So you can walk 50. You can run 100, but it does take you
Jog.
Jog. Yeah, exactly. A jog and then a run. So
1.5 times base movement.
Yeah. So call it. I'm going to say 30. So you can jog 35 foot and then fire if you wish. Is that what you want to do?
Yep, that's what I want to do.
Okay, so we'll say to about there. So Keros, you come up. Where is Keros. There's Keros. You jog up to here. Whoops, a daisy. And you have your bow and your arrow ready. Where do you target, please?
Oh, the closest. Is that the one who attacked
Etienne, yeah, I think.
Yen?
So Etienne's on the side like there. I would say that there is a. Is there a chance you'd hit Etienne?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
No, I'll be generous and say from that angle, no, because she's come up around the side and she's. If she was facing him, yes, definitely there would have been. But I'll say, because I'm a kind, considerate, good-looking, modest GM, on this occasion, that there isn't a chance you're hitting Etienne. You got a free shot on her.
Yep.
It would be
Yes, please.
would be a flank as well. Give me a roll, please.
Okay.
And it's number 10. Give me a roll.
Only a 32.
Okay. 32. You were less than.
Yep.
You were less than. Yep. So there's neither a bonus nor a minus for your shot. And you're using your composite bow, which I think is plus 49. Is that right?
I was going to say plus 44, but I'm happy with 49.
Okay.
It's plus 44.
Okay, cool. And the roll was what, sorry?
32.
32. Sorry, there was no scratchy noise at the end of that, Keros. You fired the bow, but the arrow goes sailing off over here. It's a miss.
Can I duck? Can I lie flat?
I'm sorry, you've moved 50% and you've run 50%.
Yeah, all good.
That's all you can do.
Sorry, Etienne.
Leif, what are you doing?
Leif is going to do the charge on the rapier woman.
Okay. So Leif, you're now bleeding at 1 hit a round.
Correct.
Okay. Can I... So that is a distance of 75 foot.
He moves at 70 foot around.
Yep. I hate charging in this game. What did I say last time? I can't remember.
Plus 50 for the impact, plus 50 to the roll. But no DB.
But no DB. Yep, I'm happy with that. Let's go with that. But you need to make a running maneuver first. Give me a roll, please.
Oh, 89.
89. You're fine for the run. So Leif, you barrel up there.
Yep, wanting to stand right next to Etienne.
And you have no... Whoops, Daisy, you have no DB this round. But you do get a plus 50 on the bonus for your attack, but half your skill bonus. Give me a roll, please.
68.
Okay, cool. So that is... you get a flank as well.
Yay! Gesticulating and... no, that's spells, sorry.
Yes.
Half of 107, so 50.
Roll a 2. Yep, 53. Cool. 53. Yep. But you do get, because of the impact of you rushing up, an additional 50. And what was the roll, please? Again?
68.
So Daisy.
Nice.
68. Yeah, wham. 30 and an E. So you smash into her. A lot of that is momentum of Leif running up. You're completely wild. You know, your arms are flailing. Blood is spurting out of you where you were still bleeding. Roll the E critical, please.
28.
28. You cut this woman along her side. She's bleeding, and you do another 3 hits.
Ooh.
Next up is Etienne. We've done already. Mithan, what are you doing, please?
She is going to, I believe,
Let's have a quick look.
No, she's clear to move because there was Leif in front of her, so she can move up that side.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. She'll move up, be near Kyros, and take a shot at the archer.
Okay. So, where's near Kyros?
Yep. Yeah, to the Kyros' left, so the bridge is still open.
Okay. So kind of here-ish.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. If she can get a bead on the fumbly archer.
Yeah. Distance of 79 foot. Take a shot, please.
95.
Whoa!
Roll again.
63.
Hey!
Finally!
95 plus 63.
Revenge of Mithan.
Totally.
Yeah, she pissed. She pissed.
Yeah. So that was 158. Mithan has a skill of 108 with a composite bow.
Correct.
Okay. That is a total. Now this is... Oh, no, we're still playing the courtesy of Mason at the beginning when we were talking about rules and what are we doing. So that total attack was 271 minus 150 is 121 over. Divided by 10 is plus 12 to this critical. So this is a... you do this person an E and a D, and you get plus 12 to both of those. And let me just calculate, please, Mithan, the additional hit points that you do on this individual. He's wearing chain 13, and you are using
He's the one that shot.
a composite bow, I think.
Yes, correct.
Two.
Opposite.
Okay. So plus 12, please remember plus 12.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, that is a horrible result. That was a massive, massive shot with the composite though. That's 55 in an E and a D. You get to add 12 to both the E and both the D, courtesy of Mason's suggestion that we keep that rule in for this round, for this game. Roll the critical. Which one are you rolling first? Actually, roll the E first, please. Yep. Give me a roll.
Oh, 81.
Easy out.
81 plus 12.
It's a long walk to the pavilion.
Okay. Okay. It's interesting. All right. And what's the... We'll take that result. Come back to that just a second. And rolling the D. Give me a roll. Just a second on the D, please.
Oh, man.
What's the roll?
95.
Oh my god. How many times do you want to kill this guy over?
I know. At least twice. One for me, one for Demos.
Yeah.
I have to read you this critical, but first, can you tell me, Demos, how do you do this?
Oh, Mithan?
Mithan, sorry.
There's nothing to pin him against. You'd love to pin him against something. Just a shot straight through the head.
Funny you should say that, because the second critical result you got, so the first critical result you got was you sever an artery and he dies in 12 rounds of inactivity, or thereabouts. This was critical result, courtesy of the call from Mason to keep this rule in the game. Strike through the brain, makes life difficult for the fool. You have half a round left to act. Add plus 20 to your next attack.
Oh, plus... Oh, okay.
So
Thank you.
That is he goes down.
Wow.
That was a hell of a shot, Mithan.
Amazing.
That was killed 6th level. Mithan, you have another 50% more to axe. What do you do, please?
Jeez. Sorry. I. Is there room behind Leif and Etienne? I reckon there is. She could move that in half a round. Yep.
52 feet. I'd give you that.
A run.
I'd give you that. Yep. Done. Cool.
Sort of making sure she's behind them. She doesn't want to be.
Yeah, cool.
We've got friends to protect us.
Yeah, good. Got it. Cool. Nice work. I would say that is definitely time to say...
Well done.
Very well done.
Oh, that's so good.
Very well done.
This is quite a random sound.
That was some nice shooting, Mithan.
Certainly was.
Next up is... Yes. Inspired by what he's seen, our companion with the spear rushes up. He is not, however, charging. He's keeping his shield up, and he comes up with his shields kind of heavily protecting himself. Comes off to the side here with his shield up and spear up. He has it, but he's being cautious. He's not doing a Leif, and he's not running and attacking. He's just keeping his protection up. But he's up there alongside. He says in South Tongue. Yes, South Tongue. You speak South Tongue, Mithan. You've been speaking to him in South Tongue.
Yep.
Large, ugly woman, that was a shot. Well done. No, large woman, that was a shot.
She'll just give him a nod, which is very high. That's a huge accolade. Really.
High praise from Mithan. Sure. There is the sound of running feet, and this guy here starts legging it. And he is running fast, shouting something. Does he run? Yes, he does. Belting his way across this bridge. In this direction. Yelling as he goes. Your companion here, Etienne, jumps to one side. Oh, no, he can't, because he's been jogging up behind you. So no, he doesn't. Take that. I take that back. He's legged at the same distance that you have, so he can't. Demos, you're back at the tunnel mouth. You've just seen this happen. What do you do, please?
How much room is... Could Demos run an attack? Wait, hang on. What can he see? He can see everything that's kind of happened.
Yes.
On the bridge. So how much room could he get an attack on the...
Yep. Well, I'll say you could run and attack this person here. So you've seen all of this. I'll give you a bit more of a minus because you've got to kind of weave around another person on the bridge. Yeah, a few more people. But I'm saying that you could run up and with your spear attempt to stick this woman, and you'd get her, I'm going to say rear back. basically.
Ooh. Okay.
Give
I'll do
me,
that.
give me,
Please.
give me a roll, please. Oh, hang on. Sorry. One qualifier on that. The charging rules say if there is a direct line between you and the individual. Leif did have a direct line. Whoa. Oops, a daisy. I didn't mean to do that.
A few
Oops, a
lines.
Looks like
daisy.
you missed the bridge.
I did. Uh-oh. Did I
A
just...
drunken swerve.
Yes, did I just manage to screw that up terribly? Oh, damn it. No, I didn't. Cool. Okay. Damn. I grabbed the wrong tool. I'm clearly a tool. So the rules are if there is a direct line for you to run up and attack, you get plus 50 to your roll. Each time you take a side step to the side, that decreases your momentum. So in Leif's case, he ran straight and whack straight into that person. In Demos's case, he's going to have to run and basically sidestep, so he doesn't get the benefit of the plus 50 to his roll, I don't think.
Yep.
But he can still make an attack with half his skill. Give me a roll, please.
Rolled a 60.
Okay, so the run is successful. So Demos, you come belting all your way up. You get on side. You have to kind of sidestep Mithan and Leif. But you get up to here. You can now attack with 50% of your action with a rear flank on this person, who's going to have, I suspect, a very bad day. Give me a roll with your spear. And you're using a long weapon. This person is using a short weapon. Sorry, a medium range weapon. Not that they're facing you anyway. Demos, give me an attack, please.
Rolled an 83.
Ooh, that's gonna smart.
Vengeance!
Rear flank, you get plus rear flank. What your spear is 115, correct?
Yes.
Oh, so 57 on the attack. You don't get any DB this time. However, there is no DB. It's interesting. Oh, DB. There you go. She would get partial DB because she's probably aware that an attack's coming. However, it's not good enough. That is a very solid Demos. 22 and a D puncture. Roll the D, please.
Four. Oh.
Another two hits. So Demos, you've run up, you skewered her. She screams in pain, and then you didn't. Yeah, the critical just didn't quite follow through.
If Niathanel's free, she'll move.
Oh yes, yep. Where does she go?
She'll peg it up. Can she get attacking? Is there room round the back?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
yeah.
Along.
And for a penny
I mean,
and for a pound, sure.
That's like Julius Caesar.
Again, it'll be. She wouldn't get any DB. And she gets 50% of her action. Go for it.
75.
Jesus. Yeah, running out of there was maybe not the smartest thing that person did.
Plus 114.
Yep, so 114 is 57. 57. And what was the roll, please? 75?
75.
75, cool. Hush, no DB. It's behind. That is 22 and an E/. Roll the E, please.
$100.
Woohoo!
Woo!
All right. She was down anyway because of hits. I'll read you out the critical result if you wish, but Neathanel, what with your short sword do you do?
Oh, look, I think with 100, can I have a head?
You can do whatever you want.
I think with any slash movement, she'll just cleanly separate her head from her body.
Done. Done and done. And this woman collapses to the ground. Very, very, very dead. Nasty.
What was she?
She was killed 5th level. Cool. Yikes. GM's going to get another drink. Be back in a second. Sorry. I don't know if you heard that. GM's going to get another drink. Talk amongst yourselves. But before you do, absolutely.
Very well done.
Oh, that's so good.
Very well done.
Well done, well done.
Nice going, the ethanol.
My worry is that we're going to have the archers on the bushes on the other side coming to fire at us.
I think we need to get into the bushes first.
So on either side of this archway?
If you go through that arch, there's a platform to the right. A jump across the water.
And then we go through those. Don't forget, Mithan can put a wood wall up.
Yeah, what I'm saying is if we could get onto that island, then we've got those... You see that row of flower beds there?
But they'll be able to get into there and fire at us from in there, right?
Well, will they have time... If he's just running shouting now, are they going to have time to cross the courtyard?
I don't know. I don't have a sense of how large it is.
Could we jump onto the platform and take cover behind the flower beds?
Sure. Yep. I assume the ethanol will start, so...
Yeah, she'll try and make the jump, yeah.
Each follow as they can, I guess.
But I don't have a missile weapon, so... Ideally, she'd pick up the bow, that's the only thing, but I'll see how long that takes.
30%.
All right. GM's back. Potentially last round of the night. That is the end of the round. Initiative. Bang. Bang. And Neathanel. You just ran up. You just decapitated this woman. She's fallen on the ground. What do you do?
She's kind of familiar with this kind of area. She's given it some thought.
Mm-hmm.
Through the archway, she's aware that there's a stretch of water and a sort of another platform to the right. So she's kind of keen on jumping that, but she'd kind of like to pick up that bow on the way. Is that possible?
She's planning on jumping across here.
Yeah, how high is that, Pharaoh?
10 foot. Oh, hang on.
Not very far then.
13 foot.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a maximum capacity of running long jump as quite significant because of her acrobatics. If she makes the acrobatics roll, it's 28-foot long jump. But can she pick up a bow on the way? And was that a longbow, the guy in front?
No, it was a short bow.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Sure, you can try. You
Oh,
can
this is a short bow. She won't. I don't. She's not. Hasn't
Okay.
got a skill on a short bow.
Okay.
Okay. So she'll go jump onto the platform.
Hmm.
Her aim is to jump the platform and then roll to the lip of the garden bed, prone.
Okay.
Acrobatics.
Yeah, sure. Run 30 foot.
Yep.
And then jump.
And then roll prone to the lip.
So you're saying she can definitely jump 28 foot in a long jump? Yeah?
Yeah, so if you remember back about, I don't know, a year ago,
Yep.
you asked me to look at maximum
Yes.
jumping capacities based on agilities.
Yep.
So that worked out that she's running, she can up to 28 feet. 28 feet.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. So the distance, just to get an accurate measure, is it's 12 foot. Okay, so if it's 28 feet that she can, so at the absolute maximum of her ability, let's have a look. Absolute maximum of her ability would be, let me look, would be, fair to say, a sheer folly maneuver. You know, she'd be pushing it to make 28 foot. Yes, she could, but, you know, that's kind of absolute stretching human endurance. So what did I say that was? 28. So it's 12. So for her, that would be, yeah, call it a medium maneuver. All or nothing medium. That's about right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about right, I think.
All right.
Firstly, a running maneuver, so she doesn't fumble.
83.
83, she's fine on that. And then to leap this gap here. Give me a roll, please.
5.
Roll again, please.
Brilliant. 21.
Okay.
However,
Yep. 5 minus 21. Yep. Negative 6.
acrobatics is plus 94.
Okay. Just as well, she has such a good skill. So that gives her a 60% chance. If she rolls under 60, she has made it across the water. If she rolls above 60, she's got a problem. Roll, please.
22.
22. She's fine. She runs, dive across there. I guess she's holding a short sword. I don't know. Could you do that? Never mind. And what's that total? Just a sec. What's that total distance? I think with a jump in between, she can probably make it. She can make it to about there. Doesn't quite get up
So,
to the lip.
so the maneuver is she jumps and then goes into a roll. So she's prone.
Done. She's prone, but that's as far as she's got. That's round. Cool. That was close. Right. Bang. Oops, a daisy. What happened there? There we go. There we go. Excellent. That was Neathanol. Next up is... Okay. Hey. Keros, you're next.
Feeling a bit lonely over here by myself.
Mm.
Could I please join the team?
Mm-hmm.
And what do I see? So that's what we said. That was 50 foot. So that's, I'm going to jog.
Yep.
Because I think it was 100 before and I went 50.
Yep. So to here, yeah. And with your
Yep.
remaining 50% of your action, you're using 30 for perception. Is that right?
Oh, I was just hoping you were going to tell me, as part of the...
Yep. So you can, if you want to look harder and see kind of more stuff than this, the base information that she has. Hang on a sec. Just let me get my
Sorry, I have to say I did miss it a little bit. I'm on call, so I had to take a call.
No problem.
Um,
So Neathanol just leapt that gap. And is over there. Yeah.
crikey.
She nearly went in the drink, but she didn't. So you see this man here running at pace through here. He's got through to about there.
Yep.
You see some movements over there. You're not quite sure what, but there are people. There are some people over there, but that's what you can see, unless you take a perception roll.
Right. So I'm not going to join the ethanol. I am going to take a perception roll, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Give me a roll, please. It'll be masked.
And yeah, sorry for missing that.
That's all right. It's all good.
That pesky on call.
100.
2 100s in a night. I'm really sorry. It is masked, however.
You're not sorry at all.
What's her perception, please?
Perception is... Where's my folder? Oh, sorry, just let me lose my post-it. Perception... Where's it gone? General perception, 36.
36. All right. So now, Keros, you've seen this. I'm asking others to do their very best. It's really hard, of course, but this is called role playing. Not to act on this. You definitely see a person here moving in your direction, and a person here moving in your direction.
Okie dokie.
You have 20% left to act.
God, I can't cast. Can she do that thing with... Hey? Did I hear something?
All yours, sweetie. You go.
Can I do that thing where I hold?
For your 20%, yep. There's not much you can do with 20, but yeah, you can hold. Yep.
Was it 30 or 20?
30% for the perception, 20%
Oh,
remaining.
I beg your pardon. Okay, what should I hold? I don't really want to do anything. Oh, I don't know. I've still got my bow.
Yes, so your bow is in your hand.
I'm just going to hold my bow and take aim and hold.
Okay, do you reload?
Yes. Oh, yeah. yes, please. No, yes.
All
In my
right.
head, yes. Thank you.
You got 20% action, which does carry over to the next rounds. Pete, top of your head, what's the loading for a composite bow?
70, I think.
Sorry, 70.
Oh, I have. Sorry.
It's 70% for composite.
70. So
she'll be able to fully load and then fire again next round.
she can.
So I can't do that, can I?
Can
Reload.
is 70. So you've
Oh,
used
yeah, I've got to start.
20. So you need to use 50% of your next round, and then you can fire.
Yes, correct.
Cool. Done. Leif, you've just seen carnage ensue. Demos has run up and done a stabby stab from behind, from the side. You've done a side attack. It's just been kind of messy. What do you do?
He's seen Neathanol run and do the
Sure.
jump.
Yes, absolutely.
Does he think he can make that jump?
Good question. How? I'm gonna say I'm gonna make it a hard maneuver for you.
You want me to give it a stat based on agility?
Sure, if you got it. If you can help, please.
Sure.
Agility.
What is this?
Got plus 12 for agility. He's not particularly agile.
Graham, really appreciate the offer. Thank you. I think just to move things on, Pete, it's a hard maneuver for you.
Yeah. No, he's not going to attempt that, I don't think. Sorry, Neathanol. He will... Can I just check? If he was to take an opportunity action of movement, and someone was to be firing at him, does he get to move out of the way before they get to hit him? That's a bit cheeky.
Yeah, I think that's gaming it. Yep.
I think he will... I mean, he's very aware there's archers through... We're aware of how the setup is. The courtyard's got archers on one side, and he knows that there'll be archers moving this way. He will want to move to the side. So staying within the arch, yet going to his right, I guess, because he's there already, and move out. So in his opinion, he can't be shot from where he thinks the archers are.
I don't know where Leif thinks the archers are.
So basically, if he was to stand, can you just move back a bit? Just want to see what's to his right. Standing onto that wall part.
It's quite high up. So he wants to maneuver to climb up.
The lower part, the one in between the two sort of pedestal-y bits.
There.
Yeah.
It's reasonably high up, moderately high up. I might ask for an easy maneuver to get up onto it.
Okay. Yep. Can we see what's on the other side? He might just have to go to the other side.
Hang on.
I posted jump distances if anyone's interested in the main channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Where's he going, Pete?
Yeah, so I just want those jump distances. Yeah, pressing himself right up on the left-hand side.
Over here?
Can you move to the camera angle to there, basically?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. Yeah, it's hard up against... No, I think he's still able to be seen. What about... And that seems to be that low part of that wall.
I mean, we are talking about static figures here. He would... We just go down for a second.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But that's fairly well covered from... Apart from just that direct bit right over where I can see the waterfall, that's well covered. He's out of shot from anywhere else, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking at, yeah.
Yep, okay, yeah, he'll go there.
Okay, done. Cool.
An opportunity of attacking anyone or attacking, parrying if he needs to.
Done.
Anyone that comes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Etienne, what are you doing?
Etienne's going to regain hold on his best mate.
Mm-hmm.
And remind him, don't do anything dumb. All right, just going to run you through. And he's going to... Yeah, I think he's going to advance. He's going to walk up to the... he's going to not go too far. Oh, no, that's dumb, isn't it? There's going to be several archers up there. Either that or charge. No, it's too many. God, I don't know. Yeah, he'll won't go that far. He'll go a bit. Can he delay some of his action? So if the guy gets shot, he could go for cover. So he's happy to stand out in the middle to draw some fire with his friend in front of him. But he'll keep something in the bag so that if his friend goes down, he can...
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
And he'll perceive the hell out of the situation, what's going on ahead of him, and bark and shout to all around him what he's seeing.
How far forward is he going?
Just there's fine. So he's going to hold the guy in front of him to
Cool.
draw any fire, and he's going to explain to everybody what he sees.
Give me a roll.
Give a roll.
Perception.
30.
30. Could be very good. And as bonus, please.
Plus 15.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not... Yeah, definitely one person over here, one person over here, one person kind of climbing down up here. Yeah, that's what he takes in.
So 3 people he saw there?
Yes. Plus,
so
plus the guy that's running.
Towards them?
No, away from them. That guy there that was on the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
He's gone. Okay. So he describes that using hours of the clock, hands of the clock.
Okay. Done. Your companion with the shields moves up and stands beside Etienne. His shield is up. His spear is ready. He's kind of looking to you, Etienne. Basically kind of checking with you. Are we moving forward or what are we doing? He's ready. He's good to go. His shield's up high. He's keeping low down behind it, trying to get as much cover as he can. He's game for a fight. Yeah.
All right. We'll go together then.
Okay.
And if anyone else wants to join us, bingo.
So again with your companion in front.
Yep. And we'll aim for rather than the centre of the arch, to the side of the arch. So in case there's some arrows flying.
Are you running, or what's the distance there?
I don't know how far.
Well, you've just spent 30% of your action on trying to look around, so you'll be less.
Okay. Well, what's a jog get me?
Help a GM out here. What's 30% of your action? Yeah. So you've just spent 30. You could normally run 70, so what's 1.5 times 70 minus 30%?
30% of 70 is 21. And he can run double that?
Running is double, jog is 1.5. I'd say to keep control of the chap in front of you, you'd be moving at 1.5.
75 then?
Okay, so about there. Okay, so to about
off to one side, so I don't want to be in the middle of the arch. So he'd like to take cover, preferably on the left.
Okay, cool. Oops! Oh, he fell on the drink. Uh-oh.
So to the left of the path.
Yeah, no. Give me a chance, please.
All right, where's my mate gone?
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed. GM struck some technical issues. I
didn't know. Did he drop in the drink?
He did. Whoops, there we go. There's one. Yep, I struck some technical issues. Damn it. Oh God, where did he go? Okay, we are going to borrow neathanol. Copy, paste. Bang. Your spearman friend is now... Your neathanol is now your spearman friend.
Not like that much.
You've jogged up. You can position yourself... Yeah, where are you going?
To the left of the path.
Okay.
Far left.
Okay. And where are you positioning Chummy?
So spear is in front of him. Yeah, that kind of thing. So spear Chappie immediately in front of him through the arch. If that makes sense. Yeah, exactly.
So that's your captive.
Yeah.
That's Etienne. That's your spear guy.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Cool. Done. Cool. Next up is... Mithan.
She would join them.
Okay.
Yep, she would. She'll want to join the queue. Basically.
Okay. Running up.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool. Can I ask that now? This might be pushing it with opportunity action. Leif had only moved a little bit. He was waiting to see if anyone came and attacked. He was waiting to see what other people. Can you do change 10% action and then follow as well?
Yeah, for a 10% action change. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, he'll follow on as well.
Okay, I'll move him up in a second. Demos.
He'd want to shuffle up, but he'd want to wait for Kyros to shuffle up too, and just kind of stick close to her and have his shield up, kind of protecting the both of them if he can.
Okay. So Kyros can't move much this round because she perceived and she moved and perceived. She's got a 20%, and she's reloading her bow, so she's not moving anything this round. So it's up to you, Demos, if you're wanting to move.
Oh, so he'd just do a perception, I guess, but he wouldn't. He'd maybe move like a couple of steps, but he doesn't want to stray. He doesn't want to go too much further than where Kyros is.
You tell me where.
That's too far. Come back. Yeah, stop. Ah! Yeah, about there.
Okay, cool. All right. And a perception? Give me a roll, please. Oops.
Yes, perception. Oops. $11.
Remember, it could be very good. And what's his perception?
Plus 40.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So he definitely sees movement on the other sides, where his companion Etienne has yelled out that he sees people.
Okay.
Yep. That is the end of the round. It is 10 o'clock.
Sorry, was Leif going to move up as well? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I just haven't had the chance to move him.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, my bad.
Yep. I'd love to do one more round, but I'm also conscious that people need to go to bed and do other things tomorrow. What's the call, please, folks?
I need to go to bed because I've had a lot of late nights and I'm very tired.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I second that.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. A lot of tactical stuff tonight. That's where we're going to call it for tonight. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And who is awarding Kyros? You're awarding Vader tonight.
I am. And as the game progressed, I had like, oh, this person for Vader, or this person for Vader. But you know what? Right now, I know we always award for like strength or like super good rolls or whatever. But I'm actually going to give it to Demos.
Yeah.
Because I think that was really loyal, what happened just now, and trying to protect Kyros. And I think that was really sweet. And yeah, I mean, there was some great like Neathnal was in for a run, Mithan, all, but I'm going with Demos for loyalty.
Well, do you know what I say to that? I say...
Cool.
Whoa! Hysterical crowd.
I tell you, Demos tracks the numbers.
So the reason I give that reaction is that's good role playing, in my opinion. That's thinking about another character. That's showing empathy. That's all the good stuff. So I absolutely second that. Good call.
Thanks, guys.
Good call.
Thanks.
There we go, folks. So.